welcome officially to the NOLA Tech Tap award ceremony. It's been a while and we're very, very, very excited actually to have many of you here, our innovating teams, our innovators, our budding change agents, some of you judges, partners, collaborators, and of course the world that will be viewing this session following the occasion. It is a great honor to opening the ceremony. It is ceremonial, so we will have a few talks, a few impulses, a few notes, and the big part of the session is, of course, of this activity is to give airtime, to give opportunity, to give recognition to our top 3 award teams, winning teams, or successful teams, so to say, from the NOLA Tech Tap 2022. And well, let's get started. So quick word about the NOLA Tech Tap before we really get into it. The NOLA Tech Tap is an innovation marathon. It was, we conducted it between 15th throughout the 17th of September. And 48 hours innovation is a lot and a big important part of the NOLA Tech Tap. The innovators here know it. Has been certainly to come together in innovation teams, to come together in form multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary teams so that we get fresh thinking, fresh perspective under the way, working in youth, empowering youth, and together with incentives and the sufficient and just right amount of support, hopefully also to move from idea to action, connecting global citizenship, social innovation and social entrepreneurship as our guiding framework. And it is my pleasure to hand over the word to our co-organizers, to representatives Gisela Fernandez and Laura Mata, who are joining us from NISOM, our co-organizer organization and the company sponsor also. So Gisela, Laura, please accept the invitation, find your unmute, and the stage is all yours. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to meet us today. This is to celebrate our event. I believe that it was quite successful because we achieved what we wanted, which was connect with different organizations and connect with New Orleans, especially. I would like to share with you a few thoughts about how we started and how the event had a lot of background organization, and I would like to thank in this moment to the Melton Foundation team. It was a real success. We did have a lot of challenges to cover, but I think that what was more important was that we got through. It was a challenge for us as NISOM as well to work with an organization like the Melton Foundation, because we had never been working with you guys before. And I know that there was a lot of learning involved. And I believe that we got to inspire our innovators, which was the main idea of the event. I would like to share with you a few thoughts from one of my favorite writers. And here I go. Utopia lies at the horizon. When I draw nearer by 2 steps, it retreats 2 steps. If I proceed 10 steps forward, it swiftly slips 10 steps ahead. No matter how far I go, I can never reach it. What then is the purpose of utopia? It's to cause us to advance. And I think during those 3 days that our Ideathon lasted, you made us believe that we can move forward, that the power of human connection help us reach that dream that we always have. And I think that that was the main objective, as I said earlier. At NISOM, we show that we care, we show that we respect diversity and differences. And I think that the fact that we could come together and take action about concerns that affect all of us and that make us feel like part of a bigger community, that goes straight to our values. And I think that being able to share that human connection and right now, if you ask me, it's not about New Orleans anymore. It's about the innovators that participated in this process. It's about the people that gave their valuable time to keep you inspired. And I think that's the message, turning places into faces, showing that we care and that we are part of a global community that embraces diversity. I stay with that learning, and I stay with the great team and the great stories that we shared during those 3 days. So yes, we're moving forward. And that was the idea of this collaboration space. So thank you very much, especially to all of the people that participated, the people that were on the backstage as well, and my colleagues from NISUM as well. So thank you, everybody. And I hope that you understand that this is just a kickstart. It's a small step, but it's opening a lot of doors for all of us that participated here. So thank you again for sharing your hopes, your utopias, and your dreams with us. Thank you on behalf of NISUM.
I think Gisela did a great job at thanking everyone, and I'd like to reinforce that. To Dillard University, I know that it's a university that has come so far and that has been so significant, causing social changes at all levels. And to the Melton Foundation, I hope that this is one of the first projects that we can have as a company. As you know, in NISUM, we have operations in the US, in Chile, in Pakistan, and in India. So we're trying to focus our social programs according to the needs of each community. So we know that in the US, there's a lot of issues that need to be solved. There's a lot of social injustice. There's a lot of things that need to happen. So as a company, we're making the commitment to try to not only support these types of projects, but also to see how we can change as a company, and for operations to also, walk the talk. So thank you so much. And I'm really humbled. I had the chance to see the proposals from the 3 groups today. And I would like to encourage you to continue. All of them are very relevant subjects. Of course, when we think about New Orleans, we can't help to think back about Katrina. I worked in human relief, so every time we have a natural disaster happen, it makes an area go back 15, 30 years. So you have all your ducks in order. So one thing that was common in all 3 proposals is how you need to bond with other organizations, with other communities. So I would totally encourage you to go ahead and try to find those missing pieces. And as Gisela said, this can go beyond New Orleans. It can really reach a lot of communities. So I would encourage you to find other organizations that can think of and you can help pull through with this project. As a company, we hope to continue with this, and just a big thank you. It's really humbling to see all these people come together to work for a common subject, and a special shout out to our judges, to our volunteers. We look forward to having more of these activities in the future. And again, just a big heart thank you.
Thank you very much, Gisela and Laura, for your kind words. At this point, come with me for a little recap of the facts and figures of the NOLA Tech Tap. We're going to do a little bit of a recap on what has happened with the NOLA Tech Tap recently. We are going to go on a journey of 3 phases. We have first the pre-event snapshots, the ideation snapshots, and finally, most recently, our feedback survey snapshots. And as you can see, at the beginning of the NOLA Tech Tap, we received 55 applications. We selected 21 of those applications. And out of those 21 applications, 90% of our participants or applicants were people from the New Orleans area, from the New Orleans region, living and working and schooling in New Orleans. And 95% of this number were actually people who had a great deal of knowledge when it comes to technology, which is actually a huge pillar of the NOLA Tech Tap that was organized just 2 weeks ago. And out of all the interest that we actually gathered from our participants, we realized that they all had a combined interest of 10 SDGs. And as you can see, this translated into the ideation process. In the ideation process, you could see that we had 8 participants coming together in 3 teams. And in these 3 teams, they actually went through 7 ideation stages successfully. And these 3 teams had the opportunity to meet and learn from 4 expert advisors in 3 hours. And under these 3 hours, they were able to come up with 3 innovation ideas just in 48 hours when we started on the 15th of September to the 17th of September. Then finally, to the most recent snapshot or the most recent feedback that we got from our participants. We asked them how relevant the theme of the NOLA Tech Tap was, and there was 100% identification with the event theme. We also went ahead to ask them about the relevance of the methodologies and the facilitation tools that we used. And there was a 70% response of very relevant, and there was a 30% of relevant, which is actually very great. We went ahead to actually ask them again to evaluate our on-site innovation lab at the Dillard University. And as you can see, we had a 65% saying that it was very good and 35% saying good, which is also great. And we also went ahead to ask them to evaluate the support that they actually received from organizers and advisors. And you can see that there was 100% response that organizers and advisors were always available to actually answer questions, give feedback, and troubleshoot some of the issues that our participants had over the course of the 48 hours. We asked them to give us a general overview of how the event went, what their experience was like, and what they think the impact of this event was going to be. And again, we had another 100% response, signifying that this is an event that has great impact in the lives of our applicants. We actually asked them again to tell us what are some of the new skills and lessons that they have learned. And some of them actually made us know that they learned new skills such as product design, product development, and they learned lessons that they needed to actually start thinking out of the box. And one applicant was which I really like, explained that they liked the importance of teamwork. They liked the options that working in teams gave them. And with that, we've come to the end of our snapshots and facts and figures of the NOLA Tech Tap. There is more to come. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much, Eric. And I guess thank you is exactly the bridge that I need, because we're in the wrapping up in the ceremony. Gisela and Laura have already mentioned it. There was a lot of background work. So I want to use very briefly this opportunity to give a big shout out to the many people and the many organizations who have formed part of this, the evolution, kind of the development of the event, of the program as such, of the putting together the innovation challenges. So first of all, a big shout out, of course, to our collaborators and community partners on the ground who started this journey together with us. In New Orleans, a number of 15 community organizations joined our invitation in April for a meeting, for gathering, to identify common challenges, common opportunities, put our heads together and actually identify where in these areas that these organizations are working on, and also experiencing and knowing the community on the ground, where technology and social innovation could make most sense. So big shout out to all these organizations, very clearly to our advisors. If you're on this call, we will call out to you at a later stage. Big shout out to our advisor, to our 4 advisors. Eric mentioned it earlier. Your contribution, your know-how and skill set has certainly made a difference along this innovation journey. 48 hours is a long time, and creative processes sometimes take the occasional nudge, the challenging questions, and the supporting pat on the back. So a big shout out to our advisors, to the co-organizers once more. Nisum, we've already heard from you, at Dillard University for hosting also our innovation lab on the ground, and of course Melton Foundation as the 3rd co-organizers, to the colleagues and everybody who is working backstage. Now moving on very, very quickly also to, of course, our judges. Some of you also here on this call, so big shout out to our judges who did the difficult work to review, comb through the ideas, the project ideas that have come up from the innovation marathon, and really identifying, putting scores to great ideas, thinking of, you know, the degree of innovativeness, the implementation potential, impact potential, use of technology, team diversity, submission quality. All of these characteristics, I would say, was in the hand of our judges to assess the strength and the potential of these ideas. So big shout out to you, and very clearly, I guess the biggest shout out and thanks goes very clearly to all the participants who entered, who registered, who entered, and of course, particularly for those who made it through to the end, accepting this innovation to innovate together, accepting this innovation to start from scratch, looking for people, looking for like-minded or maybe not so like-minded people, and, you know, come together in a shared context, in a shared idea, on a shared vision, and work from there. As Gisela mentioned in her talk, this is only the beginning, and we're now stepping into the important stuff. It is a challenge. So there's always a bit of competition going on. There's, you know, certain awards. We're in the award ceremony. So just wanted to remind us all what was part of also the offer of kind of that, also what we put together with NISM, saying, hey, that makes sense, that can have the potential not just to create fresh ideas, but also to propel them into action sooner or later. So very clearly enhancing visibility, creating this platform. Melton Foundation is a global organization. NISM also is a global organization, and we will commit to share this widely so that we get the word out about these cool ideas emerging from communities in New Orleans to New Orleans, because in a globalized world, you know, local ideas have global repercussions and vice versa. Of course, along the way, we heard it already from Eric, there was support, mentorship, guidance from NISM experts, and just as much also from Melton Foundation experts. We have, and this is the I would say the juicy bit of today, an award that comes with prize money of a total of $1,000 that goes to, we will see to which team or teams, and of course also there's the potential to join hands, to connect with community partners. I mentioned this earlier in New Orleans, to see also how this idea can transcend into reality. And last but not least, again, the opportunity to showcase this great work, this inspiration, and connect around it, network around it on a global platform. And I guess with that said, let's look at the important stuff. And I guess, Eric, I'll be handing over to you again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lars. And yes, just as you said, we are the most important, almost important. We've not yet announced the winners yet, but we are another equally important part of the award ceremony. And I would like to call on stage Marissa Pittman to represent the team Blue Sources. And you have 2 to 3 minutes to give us a live pitch of your idea.
Well, hello, everyone. As Eric mentioned, my name is Marissa Pittman. I am a junior urban studies and public policy major. I'm with a minor in mass communication, and I attend the illustrious Dillard University. I'll be pitching to you all about Blue Sources. As you can see, my other team members are on the screen, Malik Durant and Landon Johnson. Could not be here due to academic commitments, but we work together to accomplish our goals. So we've already done introductions. We're going to talk a little bit about our issue analysis, along with the solution, app concept, and brief conclusion. Louisiana is plagued by poverty. 85,000 Louisiana residents are currently classified as low income. And while specifically New Orleans is highlighted as a vibrant city, almost 900,000 residents are low income. And then when compared with the United States, Louisiana has the second highest number of low income residents at 18%. This issue impacts quality of life and economic opportunity. Furthermore, it is connected to the Sustainable Development Goals promoted by the United Nations, namely goal number 1, no poverty, goal number 8, decent work and economic growth, and goal 10, reduced inequalities. So we came up with a solution of Blue Sources. It's an app to help families request needed materials from restaurants, or stores that are currently in surplus. It'll start with the homepage and then go into about donations and prompt folks to create an account. We will also use Swift and database from Firebase as a start. And ultimately, this idea is aimed to help low-income families make ends meet and support local organizations and restaurants who look to give back. And as mentioned, it supports goals 1, 8, and 10. So help us connect low-income families to Blue sources. Thank you.
Wonderful, big round of applause. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Blue Sources. This has been very insightful, and I know that it was not the easiest way to get from 0 to that stage. So that is an important accomplishment, an important achievement. Thank you so much to you and your team, Malik Jamil Durant and also London Johnson, who you're representing. And I guess with that said, I'll be handing over the presentation wheel, if you want, to the second team who was successful in the NOLA Tech Tap 2 weeks ago. Cyclebusters. So Team Cyclebusters, Shahinor, I believe you are hosting this presentation, so please take it forward. I stop my screen share and pass over to you. Go Cyclebusters.
Alrighty. So hello, my name is Adrienne Moliere. I'm going to be presenting for Cyclebusters today. So Cyclebusters essentially is an application that's going to serve the greater New Orleans area by providing the whole family access to resources as well as actionable steps to take to improve their overall quality of life, as well as their communities. The mission of Cyclebusters is to empower New Orleanian community members to make ripples of progress in their communities through education, infrastructure, and financial resources. So one of the biggest problems we saw in New Orleans is that overall communities suffer from a lack of education, housing choices, and financial power to change their circumstances. We are all pretty much familiar with these statistics since Hurricane Katrina. The amount of poverty and the expansion of poverty has increased in New Orleans, leading a lot of people to simply leave the city altogether. The greater purpose of Cyclebusters is to educate and empower community members to make the long-lasting changes where they live. Companies and organizations that attempt to support communities come and go. And after decades of living the consequences of poverty, crime, and lack of education, Cyclebusters wants to support the communities in uplifting themselves financially, physically, and emotionally. So a little bit about Cyclebusters is composed of individuals who have seen the change in New Orleans after multiple natural disasters, economic downturns, and gentrification, not just physically, mentally, and emotionally, but our city essentially continues to suffer. And the elected officials that have been chosen to serve those communities have not done so. So many citizens of New Orleans not only have been franchised, but have developed a sense of distrust for government and endorsed resources. But we are New Orleanian natives, or we are living in the city. That's our home, so vested interest in its success. So about the app serves the community as a community corner store, connects users with resources that are available. So before anyone goes into the app, they're going to take a survey with checkboxes, and that's going to connect them to a database that provides a list of well-researched and endorsed available resources, and gives the options of mentorship in which a member of Cyclebusters would reach out to that individual, formulate a plan, and actually execute it. We address family immediate needs as well as their short-term needs. And our team is going to conduct workshops in rooms at public libraries in order to provide educational training in technological literacy, business education and application, digital marketing, as well as career training. But we also saw the need to support other minority groups, such as incarcerated individuals. We noticed that there was a high number of previously incarcerated individuals in the New Orleans area. So the app would also include a database of jobs and housing for these individuals because that we could increase the opportunities for them to reoffend by having opportunities for them to indulge in. So resources and obstacles, we plan on partnering with public libraries and universities like Dillard and tech companies to provide these with electronic devices such as computers, tablets, and phones, because that's something that they're also lacking. So this is going to be done that companies donate their older but still working devices. So in terms of some of the short-term needs that we're going to offer to families, it'll be food assistance, bill assistance, K-12 education and after-school programs. Long-term needs would include access to higher education, access to high demand and high wage careers, housing assistance and safety, and then career services such as resume writing, cover letter, interview prep, career fairs, internships, and mentorship. So we do understand that there's going to be some obstacles. There's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape in New Orleans, as well as organizations with inadequate or inconsistent resources. So we're making it our priority to work with these groups and uplift what they already have to make it suitable for the families that we need. And then what we had planned was some guerrilla marketing, essentially barcodes into schools, libraries, bus terminals, and local malls to get the word out, and then bringing everyone in order to service them. So that is the Cyclebusters app.
Thank you very much, Team Cyclebusters. That was really, really, really amazing. We move on to Mickey from Hurricane NOLA to give us his pitch.
Right. Let's jump right into it. So, hello everyone. My name is Mikey Susan. I'm a student at Tulane University. I'm a comp sci and environmental science student who's focusing on different aspects of the world, especially climate change, and how I can integrate, technology and climate together. So this is my product that we came up with throughout the time at the Tech Tap. So this is the product. It's called Hurricane NOLA. And so basically, we all know that New Orleans is often at the center of the Atlantic hurricane season. And so we propose a solution to answer the question of how will this hurricane directly affect me and my community personally on a personal level? So with dozens of news outlets on the local and local to national level, it's often confusing with all the changing and new information that pops up every few days. And so the New Orleans community really lacks a single comprehensive New Orleans specific platform. So here's a little case study about Hurricane Ian. So recently, as everyone knows, Hurricane Ian kind of came through. And so with different maps coming from the NHC, or the National Hurricane Foundation or Center, and also a bunch of different other private sources, like this other one on the right is called Storm Pulse. It really allows us to get by integrating all of these different maps, that's our goal. We're better able to create a user-friendly experience for people of New Orleans to really go to one place and get all the data they need about an incoming storm. Or even if you want to check to see, will there be a storm possibly in a few weeks? And so that's the basis of the product. If there's a storm brewing in the Caribbean or off the coast of Africa, Hurricane NOLA users will be the first to know. So on a personal and community level, which is New Orleans, because New Orleans is a unique city. It's really built around its communities. And so we want to individually serve each and every community as much as possible, and independently assess their risks. So by getting the data out to the public and out to these communities, we'll be better able to make informed decisions before it's too late. If we're able to get the data from the National Hurricane Center or a different service that says, New Orleans East is probably going to get 1 to 3 feet of storm surge or more, that's going to directly affect this street here and this street here. So you're probably going to want to evacuate. And that's one thing that often gets bungled in bureaucracy, because calling for a mandatory evacuation by street or something is often really hard for local community or local government to do. So by giving these communities the the information to make their own decisions, it can, one, save a lot of lives, and two, really make sure that people who could get forgotten or who wouldn't be able to make it out if there was a really close evacuation, like older folks and elderly, it really gives us the ability to give them the information that they need to make a really informed decision. And so with our product, we have a few bases. So the primary part of the product will be a designated base map, which has a bunch of different maps that would be data driven from the NHC, which is the National Hurricane Center, and also Storm Pulse or windy.com is another one. So by grabbing all this data from a single source or from multiple sources and then specifying out how will this directly affect specifically New Orleans, it'll really allow us to give better and more robust predictions, and also better and robust announcements to everyone. And then the second part is also a notification and community social interface, so to speak. So basically what we're proposing is, like, in the event of a hurricane, the aftermath is often the hardest part. So by creating a community interface, we're able to say, hey, in my street right here, there is a down power line that's still active. By sending that to us, we'll be able to submit a FEMA form directly to them, to FEMA or the government, to tell them, hey, you need to turn off this power right now, because it's often, these type of things are often overlooked and also super dangerous to people. And so our project roadmap moving forward is we're going to, or at least I'm going to continue to create a team and find local partnerships, work on creating that base map and application. And then also, finally, the next part would be that community social interface. That's all that I have today. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thanks, Nissan. And yeah, if you'd like to contact me, that's my email. I'm a student at Tulane University. I'm just on one. Cheers, guys.
Wonderful. Big round of applause to Mikey. Thank you so much, teams, innovation teams, for this presentation. Well, we do have the pleasure and honor of having some of our judges here. And of course, I do not want to miss the opportunity to listen in how this process was. It was a week long of reviewing, of, not sure if you had a chance to discuss also among each other, but it was certainly a coming through in detail and making sure that the points that you had to indicate, or also a lot, were well given. So a big round of applause. Well, first of all, to the innovator teams all here. Thank you, everybody. Please, use the virtual applause or the reaction buttons just as much. And a big round of applause also to our 4 judges who are here. We have Ravi Narayanan, we have Subrata Mukherjee, we have Stefan Bethmann and Alafia Stewart with us today. Please identify yourself. And to the judges, and there's no particular order, I'm just very curious also to hear from you what your reactions, or maybe some of the immediate reactions and thoughts were, that when you were going through the idea proposals, kind of also what criteria you used when you were applying kind of your judgment or your evaluation. So this is an open question, really. And of course, if you have any advice to share or any words that could be supportive to these teams, more than welcome also to see. And I see, thank you, Alafia, for taking the lead on this. This is actually fantastic practice, so we can do this. Ha ha ha! Wonderful. Alafia, over to you first, and then Subrata, to you would go next. Please go ahead, Alafia.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I just want to say how honored I am to have been a part of this process at the judging level. And I just want to say that as I was going through all of your ideas, it just kept ringing in my mind, like, this is the only way that we're going to be able to do this. This is the only way that we are going to be able to save our cities, save our communities, and make a long-lasting, sustainable impact. It's the diversity of minds and experiences coming into a space that make the richest ideas possible. So as I was going through your projects, all I could think to myself was that the ripple effect, that one drop. And I was so excited to even see that there is this opportunity and this desire to anchor communities and strengthen them so that they can thrive. And I could really, even in the documentation, I could feel the love that you all have for the New Orleans region. And that was something that felt very special to me because New Orleans holds a special place in my heart. So thank you all so much for the honor of being able to be one of the judges in this process.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very good morning, good day to everybody. I feel humbled and honored to be part of the judging panel, and great to see this partnership between Melton Foundation, Dillard, and NISAM. So I thank the NISAM leadership, Radhika, who pulled me in, and the leadership team. So my reaction when I saw the submissions, it's actually fantastic. So great to see that the young minds, people who are the futures of tomorrow, they are giving their thought process in terms of the UN Sustainability Development Goals and the UN SDG points, and thinking of the environment, thinking about community poverty alleviation and all that. It's actually been enormous. So today I would want to mention that there are no winners here. Everybody is a winner. So all of the young minds, everybody who has taken part in this, all the submissions, of course, it has been a very uphill task for us judges to come up with a winner, but we had to do it as part of the demic that we had. But I want to mention this to all the participant contestants, not only our 3 finalists here, but everybody that spend your thoughts, give time to the environment, keep up with it, whether you are a declared winner today or not. Keep your thought process in that same direction and keep up with the motivation, and definitely the world will be a much better place for the upcoming generations. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Eric, Lara, Alashi. I truly appreciate it. I mean, this is a great initiative, building the impact to the community on a wide variety of areas. And I absolutely echo Subrato. Congrats to each and every one of you participants for your passion and your commitment to make a difference to the community at large, and the problems that you guys have picked up are really aspiring and bold and relevant and pressing. So kudos to each one of you. The relevance of the challenges that you guys have picked up, just this very trait to make a difference in the community and the society at large makes each one of you a winner, not just for the from an innovation perspective, but for life. And that's a beautiful trait to have as each one of you embark on these ideas, and more so some of the other ones that you do. It was indeed a very tough choice. I could see this funnel. It was the right shape. It looks like we had 55 of those ideas, narrowed down to 18 teams, and then to 3, and all of them had a very strong community orientation, a cross-functional team, collaboration, and the need to build scale. So it was a tough one. We had our framework laid out. We had, I think, about 24 different components in terms of criteria that was provided by the team here, and they ranged all the way from the overall context and how effective and cutting edge and technology oriented the proposals were, to the ability to quickly get into an actionable role, and how pressing the issues have been, and also the diversity of teams, just to name a few. So I'm really excited. It was indeed a very tough one. It was pretty much a close call between each one of them, each one excelling in one more than the other, but all were winners. So I would take it at that. Thank you.
Well, fantastic. And I think a big round of applause, of course. Thank you so much, Ravi, for these inspiring words. And I guess we've for some reason, of course, we haven't disclosed the order yet, the winning teams yet, but for some, there is some intuition that we're all winners, and we've mentioned it multiple times. Before we go into the big part, we have one of our advisors also on this call. I'm not sure, Aaron, if you're in a position to speak, but I also wanted to give you the opportunity to briefly contribute. Kind of, you've been with the innovators during and throughout the 48 hours ideation marathon, have stood the grounds, have asked challenging questions, have done the supporting tap on the back. So Aaron, if you can speak, if you can share a few thoughts also how you experienced the journey, please feel free.
Absolutely. Hi everyone, I'm so sorry I can't be on camera right now, but for those of you all that don't know me, my name is Aaron Brown, and I was one of the advisors during the Tech Tap. A couple of thoughts that I just want to share is, again, it was just really an amazing opportunity, I think, because looking back, on my time at Dillard and in the Melton Foundation, I remember, having all of these ideas in my head and seeing issues that were going on in New Orleans, seeing issues that were going on in the world, and just really desperately wanting a launch pad for all of these ideas and to come together with other like-minded individuals and to be able to propose those solutions. And so here we are. Wow, goodness, how long was 2016 ago? Here we are all these years later now. And to be on the other side of things, I think this was just a really unique experience for me in the fact that I remember what it was like sitting in that seat as a Melton Fellow and wanting to make things happen, and to be able to be a voice to the participants, to be able to push them, challenge them, ask questions, and also benefit from their expertise and get challenged by them as well. I think, that was a wonderful treat. It just really was invaluable. And I think all in all, the city of New Orleans is going to be much better for events like this. I appreciate Nisa, Melton, and of course my alma mater, Dillard, and everyone that put this together for making this happen. And echoing what Alafia said, this is truly the way that we're going to do it. This is the way that we're going to progress in the way that we need to. And I'm excited to see what's to come from everybody involved in this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Thank you very much to our judges as well. And I'd just like to remind us all that our judges had a very tough job of giving out the points, trying to see which innovation ideas were better than others, which ones were more cutting edge than others. And I just want to say that they actually reviewed the ideas based on how the degree of innovativeness, the implementation potential, the impact potential, the use of technology, team diversity, and finally the submission quality. And with that, we've come to the main the main stage, the main portion of our award ceremony this morning, this afternoon, and this evening. And without wasting much time, I just want to call on stage the first team for the award category of Team Diversity. Team Blue Sources, you are our winner for the award category for Team Diversity. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Then we move on to the next award category for tech for social impact. We'd like to call on stage Team Hurricane NOLA.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I would just like to say these two teams actually get $250 each for to kick off the ideas and to as support for everything that they've put together this evening. Then finally, I think it's quite obvious, the winning team across categories. We have Cyclebusters winning a cash prize of 500 USD. Congratulations, guys. Would you like to say something?
Thank you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And everybody else, y'all rocked, and your ideas were awesome, and we loved it. And the advisors, y'all were amazing. And the organizers, y'all are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for gracing us with your ideas, your potential, and we are looking forward to the impact that you are going to bring in the coming weeks, months, and years. And with that, we transition to the final keynotes from the as Chief Executive Officer of the Melton Foundation, Stefan Bateman.
Hello, thank you so much. Oh wow, I'm so thrilled. Congratulations to the teams. Wow, it's a fantastic. You really did all a very good, very good job. So super cool to see, your innovative potential pull out something like that in such a short time is really something difficult, intense, but also amazing to see, how the depth and the breadth of the solution that have come through. When I talk about the Melton Foundation, I often start and ask about, have you ever dreamed of? Have you ever dreamed of a world where every child can go to bed not being hungry, where every child has access to education, where every person in a country has access to healthcare, where mental health is not an issue, where there's peace, where sustainable cities, where no species are extinct, where poverty is reduced, and where everybody has a chance to develop themselves. All these dreams are very well represented in the Sustainable Development Goals. They're actually part of the goals that we as human race, our one human race that we have set ourselves to be able to be staying on this planet. Because unfortunately, we are not doing so well in keeping up with our natural resources and in living in harmony together. But there is on the horizon a lot of hope. And this hope is also, which I see here in this group. It's people that take their time, that come together, that collaborate, that work together to find solutions to problems in their communities. And with these solutions, may they be small, may they be big, they all do an extra step towards building a better world, a more sustainable, just, and equitable world. And that's exactly what we also strive for in the Melton Foundation as proponents of global citizenship, which for us are exactly people like you, global citizens that understand that all the problems that we face are man-made, but that there's a way to mitigate them, to work together collectively, to make a difference, and to help us all together to, in solidarity, work towards a better world. So thank you, and I hope you recognized and will recognize that you are global citizens, because you are aware of what you're doing, and you are not only staying at the level of recognition, but you also go to action, and that's really what it's about: being responsible about what you see and take action to a better cause. I also want to thank of course, NISM for collaborating. I see in your company slogan, it says building success together. So at the Melton Foundation, we believe in collaboration across boundaries to make a lasting change. So I guess even the mentioned differences of cultures, there is something really much what we share in common, that we want to collaborate and build something together. And I hope this was the first step of many more different collaborations. But I also want to especially thank our organizers, the people of the Melton Foundation, Lars, Alafia, Eric, who's done a specific, wonderful job with a lot of preparation. So I know you guys have put so much energy into that, so many hours, and I'm so happy that you've come to this wonderful conclusion with these wonderful teams, and they saying that they enjoyed the ride is just hopefully a very good satisfaction for you as well to see these wonderful kind of results at the end. So with that, I want to wish you all the best in hopefully implementing your ideas. It's been said before, this is the first step. Hopefully this small perk, this prize money will get you started going on. There's always going to be support from us. If you have questions, our network is open continuously also for collaboration and for helping you support you in implementing your ideas so that this beloved city and beyond can look into a brighter future. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stefan. And I guess with that, we're coming to an end of this award ceremony. For the innovators, you already know that there's always a little bit of wisdom that I would like to share at the end of it. So I just wanted to, as we're concluding, not only the NOLA Tech Tap, but also this award ceremony, it should have been the other way around. And again, acknowledging that this is really only the beginning. You have fantastic ideas. They need to grow, they need to mature, they need to maybe change here and there along the way, and they probably will. But there's two important things that, I think with this NOLA Tech Tap, with accepting this invitation and with being part of the winners from day one by actually signing up, you unlocked two very important secrets. The first secret actually brought to us by Mark Twain today. He can't be here in person. You certainly know the reasons why, but he says that the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And that sounds very simple, and there's beauty and beauty and truth and simplicity. The second secret is of Socrates. He can't be here in person either, I guess for even more obvious reasons. They don't have internet back in the old days, so he couldn't join the Zoom link. But he was talking about the secret of change, and that is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And that is exactly what you've been doing, what you've been thinking about, what you've been putting together. And I just really want to take this opportunity as we're closing off to acknowledge everybody's effort, everybody's thought, everybody's commitment, contribution to that space, the judges, the advisors, our collaborators on the ground, co-organizers, and of course, you as participants, as innovators. This is only the beginning. All the best. We'll be reaching out for the due diligence, the paperwork and all that, the fun part of it, really. Big round of applause, everybody. Feel free to unmute, shout out a few acknowledgements or appreciations. And thank you so much for being here and for taking this forward.